Oh my. I have never been so excited for something I know so little about. Yes, Nintendo announced that it's abandoning the Wii U and looking to switch their focus into making a portable home console and becoming more third-party friendly. But let's be honest, the biggest question is, will it be the new home to a Metroid game? I really do hope so, Nintendo. It's about time Samus got some love, and there are several cliffhangers that are still bugging me. I need some closure, please! This has obviously sparked some debate amongst Metroid fans when it comes to deciding what type of gameplay would work best. To simply put it, 2D or to not 2D? Should it be another 2D adventure like the classics? After all, it's been 14 years since Zero Mission. Or should it be in the style of the Prime games to continue where Corruption and Federation Force left off? And then there's me, who probably has the most unpopular opinion on this matter. Please don't hate me for saying this, but I think it would be awesome if it were in the style of Metroid Other M.
Relax, yes, I know what I said, please. Just finish watching the video, it's just my opinion. Just give it a chance. Just watch the video.
No, not saying that the next game should be Other M2, the babying, but more that I think that we should give the formula another go. But this time, we make it work. Are you listening to me? We make it work.
How can Other M even work to begin with?
I was going to get to that. Simply put it, what was the worst thing in Metroid Other M?
Madeline Bergman.
No.
The deleter.
No.
Baby. The baby.
No.
Bombs has been authorized.
No. No! The biggest problem with Other M was this! Yes, before I even got a chance to play Other M, my biggest concern was that this 3D platformer style game was being controlled with the equivalent of a glorified NES controller. I mean, to give Teen Ninja some credit, they did manage to pull off an impressive combat system only using a D-pad and 2 buttons. And not to mention, they created an actual hack and slash game where the main combat focus is projectile-based weapons? Now that seriously is really cool. I mean, it works. Somehow, it just works. I don't see these guys ever pulling that off. And Bayonetta may have 4 guns, but she still decides to punch things like the rest.
So what's the point of the 4 guns anyways? Oh, it looks cool. Got it.
For the most part, Other M controlled great, but now let's just throw this out of the way and... that is more like it. Look at this beauty, an actual controller with more buttons and 2 joysticks. The endless possibilities. If the problem wasn't obvious enough before, let me just point it out then. The Wiimote really limited the type of control and level of complexity we had during combat. Now that we have more buttons at our disposal, we can have each one of them dedicated to a particular weapon in Samus's arsenal, and get the ability to pull off actual combos like in other hack and slash games. And if anything, how fun would it be to combine all of Samus's abilities, like Shine Spark into an enemy you just froze, and then Boost Ball into the other enemy to just unmorph from your Boost Ball and turn into like a screw attack in one seamless combo.
That would be so hype!
Now top that off with more unique lethal strikes that depend on the weapon and the enemy and even the scenario you can find yourself in, and I think it can be a great way to show how much of a badass Samus can be. The other advantage of having a proper controller this time around is that it also allows us to now have proper control over our camera, meaning we will most likely get a proper third-person oriented Metroid game in the sense that it now forces developers to give us a better looking environment similar to the ones we loved from the Metroid Prime series. I think this is quite obvious because most of the items in Metroid Other M were just simply hidden out of the camera's range, forcing us to change it to the first-person perspective to find one secret button we can shoot, or try to find some not obvious hidden location for a specific item, which made the game feel cheap at times. Speaking of, if anything, since we now have 2 joysticks, if we want to keep the first-person view, we can now actually move and control the camera at the same time, similar to how we did in Metroid Prime 3. Because we're not forced into using a glorified TV remote. If we're keeping the first-person perspective, let's just do it in the sense that it works as a scan visor, so it's easier to find some hidden items and get more expansion over the world's history. It's definitely one of the things that made me love the Metroid Prime series so much. Simple ways to learn more about the world rather than having expositional dialogue. And now, time to address the main reason why everybody hates Other M. If we need to have a story in a Metroid game as a focus, let's keep it on the same levels of Metroid Fusion or Metroid Prime 3. It's not the main focus, but more of the icing on the cake. Let it enhance the gameplay and fill the world with history so we want to continue exploring. But please, address this cliffhanger somehow. I am dying to know. Nintendo, please, I am dying to know. Please! Please! In my opinion, I would love to see where Samus's journey takes her after Fusion. Maybe we have a new set of villains, so it's not the Space Pirates for the 100th time. Or we could have Samus trying to see if she can find another Chozo civilization. Perhaps we even at one point go back to Aether or some other planet from Corruption as a callback, like we did in the opening for Metroid Fusion.
Or perhaps tell me what's gonna happen after this cliffhanger, Tanabe.
With all that said, I think the Nintendo Switch is the best opportunity to give the Metroid series some new life, just like the Prime series did back in the GameCube. We not only need a new image for the franchise to mark this change, but also a new approach to its gameplay. If we go back to the old style from the 2D games or the Prime approach, I fear that we might not be letting the franchise find its new image. Other M tried that some years ago, and I think with the changes I just mentioned in this video, we could end up getting a great blend of the old school ways with a new generation of gameplay that will hopefully give Metroid a new chance in the spotlight.
Or worst case, we could have a 2D game for the 3DS and a Prime game for the Switch. I won't really complain.